trying to bury my wife's cat, make an artifact out of it. I can't get that lucky. Hey y'all, if you like arrowheads, you like artifacts, ancient man kind of stuff, stick around. I'll guarantee you I'm going to find a bunch of stuff here in just a few minutes. There's no doubt. I'm going to pull up a lot of debitage, some broken stuff, who knows, we'll see. Guarantee it's going to happen, hang around. It's going to be a good few minutes. Okay, first off, we're going to have to excuse the chickens. They're noisy, mouthy, and everything else. It is what it is. So what's going on? Two things. First off, we're starting a remodel of my house. I'm trying to fix 23 years of having kids here. Hell, 25 years. So we're changing things, moving things. Anyway, but the main part of the story is we had a rock garden out here for years by an ash tree. It was just a sapling really when I started. It's dead now. But I had all kinds of stuff laying around this thing. I did a video on it, got kind of controversial, I don't care. Had a bunch of stuff. Now, not crazy great stuff, but probably had 80 whole points, maybe 100, I don't know. I would come home from a trip. Sometimes catalog stuff I dug, sometimes it was stuff I picked up, a lot of debitage. I picked up a lot of flakes over the years. I just put them on this rock garden. And for what reason? I put my first axe I ever found, a 3/4 groove axe, I put it here. It was cool, it was my rock garden. And somehow, sometime a few years back, it all disappeared. And I didn't catch it right away. I was working, and I come by one day, looked over and thought, well, a chicken scratch in it, which is what got this going, by the way, this time. And it was probably 6 months later, I come over and looked at it, started looking around, and I realized how much stuff was gone. It was heartbreaking. Well, heartbreaking the way people are. And it got to be a confrontation with folks. Shouldn't have had stuff laying out in the yard. You got to be kidding me. Seriously? So anyway, I picked up a few things last year after I did a video on this and started putting them away and got doing other things. It's hot summer like it is now. But the other day I was out here and I found a broken point way out here somewhere. You know, way out here. But chickens are destructive as heck. And we started changing all this up, cutting things up, beaver sticks. The artsy fartsy thing is going away till I get my house remodeled, which will probably be a couple-year project. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to dig some of this. Well, I've already started digging. That's the whole point of the stupid thing was I started doing this an hour ago and thought, you know what, this might make a video. People might like this. So there's plenty of stuff still on the ground. I'll show you some of the stuff I've already pulled out. There's a bucket my wife did a while back right there, but there's still stuff laying here. Now, I found last year 3 or 4 whole points that they'd missed because thieves were probably in a hurry. And I found there's several broken, I can see broken piece right here. It's all artifacts, it's all stuff I found. Guys, you're looking at probably, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years worth of stuff. From about 03, I guess, to about 2000, no, about 05 to about 13 or 14. And it got built up and it's going to kill a tree, which I think lightning got the tree, actually. So before I get all cut out of the ground, I'm starting to dig this stuff out. Does that make any sense? Okay, enough talking. I'm going to start picking some things up. I have to get down on my hands and knees. See if I can see anything real interesting before I get too far into it. Now there's going to be just a lot of debitage. I mean, that piece's been hit on and heat treated, so I kept it. So if this isn't interesting, I'm sorry. It's rock cutting in my own yard. Of course, I can go right down there in the woods and show you real debitage. You know what? Real quick, let's do that. Yeah, I've walked 30 yards away. Don't get hit by hickory nut falling out of our dying trees. And I can show you real debitage right here in my woods. Look at that. I pick it up all the time. Well, haven't been picking it up lately. Look at that. Real stuff. There's a piece right there by the cat. I live in a zone above a creek where ancient man lived. So I'm lucky. I know how fortunate I am with what I got. Look at this. Chips and flakes. I found a few. Well, I found one tool and one whole piece ever on this property. I've never dug or looked serious, but yeah, there was a piece been whacked on. So, how's that for a neat little side note? There's pieces been whacked on. Flakes, debitage everywhere. So, there's a piece right there. It's everywhere, and I take it for granted sometimes. So let's get back to my rock pile over here and see if we can pull in more of this good stuff out before it all goes away for good. I really don't know where to start in here. This stuff here we pulled out last year and in that bucket, and I give up. You know what? It's a little heartbreaking. It really is. Adds. Trying to preserve this stuff because however many hours I have in finding just this rock garden here. Wife's gloves got shot, heck. Look at that thin thing. Oh, if you see with numbers on it, that's because I dug it up and it's a code that means something. I've got a catalog code. I still would if I ever get a good dig going again, to try to catalog where I found stuff, how I found it, whatever. So there's a broken base. This is it's not heartbreaking, that's the wrong word. I don't know. I guess for me, I'd be ashamed of myself that I have this much stuff and take it this much for granted. Look at that big old chunky adze they tried to work down. Look at that gorgeous piece of mosarkite. So maybe, I guess my goal is maybe find more whole pieces today. I'm just going to spend a few minutes. I got some other things to do, but I need to get this done. A lot of flakes. Like we talked about debitage, how much I leave behind. I didn't always leave it behind. Look at that. Adds. Whenever I found any one of these, I had a few moments of joy over the years. So look at that big flat thing. Look at that. Wow. I know how fortunate I am to have found what I found over the years. I get it. Big old tool. Basically, for years it was whacked on, I picked it up. I got kind of where I quit doing that as far as flakes goes. And I literally have thousands of these adze, digging type tools, whatever they were, preforms, whatever. Getting hot out here now. I've got thousands of them. There's 100 right here. Look at that. Is this boring yet? I'm gonna get down a screwdriver and dig through some of this stuff. Then, like this stuff right here, if you see me picking up a round rock like this, it's because it was found in a relative position to artifacts, a lot of times dug up. So it must have been used for something. It's in context. It's part of a situation where it didn't belong. So that's why there's some of these little things like this laying around. Actually, there's quite a few of them. Usually, and I keep them all. Look at that pile of stuff. That big old whacked on piece. Okay, I'll get down here and... Man, look, there's a point there. That's actually kind of a whole point. Look at that one. Ugly hole. That's a creek find. You can tell by it's tumbled by a creek. So these jackasses didn't get everything. Boy, look at that. Translucent and pretty flake. Okay, I'm still rambling, ain't I? Broken. There's 2 points. Look at that. Whenever I found that, whatever day, wherever it was, I was thrilled. Hard to get that thrill back, digging through your own junk pile. Broken bases, broken tools. Okay, I'm going to get the screwdriver out. I'm going to dig through this stuff a little bit. I guess I'd have my GoPro for this. Be a lot easier than holding the camera with one hand. I just kneeled down this pad and pulled that one out of the ground. If it's good, really nice stuff, I'll take better care of it. I promise. They're all nice stuff. Kind of like doing it for real. There's some creek rock too. But obviously when you see a piece that looks like that, well, that's just churd. I guess that's just from here. Okay, I'm not good. It's nothing comfortable about the one I'm doing. So there's a piece I kept. It had been hit on. It was never a good anything, but it's pretty, so I brought it home. Sometimes I just bring home pretty rocks too. Look at that. Big old flat. That was a preform. Never made it. That was a preform about that long, and they busted it. No other work on it. Obviously a preform. Thinned down nice. Did not survive it. Yeah, this hurts. Am I boring y'all yet? I guess if there's a point to this whole video, it's how many years I have invested in this rock pile, and this isn't all the stuff I found. I had to sit down. I had to put the better, oh look, I just pulled out of the ground with my foot right there. Look at that. There's stuff here that's going to be lost again to posterity. The chickens are burning it. But a lot of years involved in this. I need to show it the respect it deserves. Just flakes mostly. Hit on pieces. Look at that profile of that one. Boy, look at that pretty. That's almost agate. That is so close to being agate. And then you got this piece of obsidian. That's since I like to nap myself, or I used to, I have obsidian. Matter of fact, there's a big piece of obsidian right there. So I'd throw a piece out here once in a while just to whatever. I really should have fired up my GoPro for this. Oh, there. I should have fired up my GoPro. Boy, that thing's sharp. Another adze. Y'all get any idea what I'm talking about here? Making any sense? Told you I'd find stuff. I wasn't jacking around. We're really dry in Missouri. I'm covering the cat up. I was kind of jacking the cat, and this one was covered about a ½ inch of this loose dirt. I ain't pulled it out yet. Look at that big old knife. See, the yahoos that stole my stuff, a lot of times, of course they're in a hurry, they don't realize what artifacts are. They're just looking for points with notches, arrowheads. This is all just cool. Look at that blade edge on that thing. Look at that. Isn't that perfect? Cool. So, I just did that by hand. Gosh, big old thing. Look at that. This stuff come out of, oh golly, probably 10 different places, maybe more, but about 6 different places I was digging in those years. See, I'd bring home a little bitty flakes like that sometimes, just because I could. Definitely a flake. Clues. That creek tumbled chunk. So if it's boring, I'm sorry. I would just, look at that. Oh, that reminds me. Look at that weird base. It broke. Weird shape. That reminds me. Oh, it's right behind me. I want to show y'all this one. I ought to do a video just on weird finds. Now here's one. I remember picking this one up in the field. You see how thin and nicely made that is? But then what happens, look at this. Shut up, chickens. What was that? It's like a spatula. If that thing kept on with that shape, it was huge weird. have no clue. That one needs to be preserved before it breaks anymore. Very finely made, very thin. Have no clue. One-time tool, whatever. That one needs to be kept special. Oh, look at that. There's a Madison. That was laying on top of rock. That one must have been pulled out already. Look at that Madison. Look at that. Wow. See, they didn't see that one, obviously. That one's right on top. That one's already been pulled out before. Well, y'all, look at that old point. Broken piece. Ain't much, I guess. Dadgum. Look at that. Flat. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. Paper thin. I'll get a rake out here in coming weeks and sift through. I'll bring my sifter. Boy, look at that flake. I'll bring my sifter out here. Toby's over there trying to move rocks around for me again. See what else I've lost or forgot. I mean, they're just everywhere. Oh, look at that big hunker there. Look at that big one. There's that toad. Look at that monster. So that's not really worth anything to a thief, but I bet you it's worth 50 bucks to a collector. It ain't for sale. That's what I got. I'm sweating, getting dirty. I just want to do a little video. I know I owe y'all videos. It's been horrible. I have done a bad job. Priorities. It's like my arrowhead hunting, period. I used to have more time. And then by the mid-2000s, my kids took priority. Remember hunting a bunch, 2012, 13, 14, we hunted a ton. We did some digging. And some of this stuff will be towards the end of that. That's all I got. I'm going to do more, hopefully. I wanted to show you my own yard. Finding it twice, and I'm not done. If I find anything really cool, I'll share it in another video. But that's pretty much it. Thank you, guys. God bless. We'll talk at you soon, hopefully.